Welcome back to Bike Two Wheel World. Today, we're taking a detailed look at a motorcycle that sounds like it could completely change the Honda Shine nameplate, the 2026 Honda Shine 500. Before we get into the review, there is an important clarification. Honda's currently listed Shine is a 123.94cc commuter motorcycle, while Honda's 2026 500cc family includes models such as the CB500 Hornet, CBR 500R, and NX 500. I could not verify an officially announced production motorcycle called the Honda Shine 500, so for this video, we'll treat the Shine 500 as a hypothetical or concept-style model and discuss what such a motorcycle could offer if Honda brought a 500cc Shine to market. That distinction is important because we don't want to present imagined specifications as confirmed Honda specifications. Now imagine Honda taking the familiar Shine philosophy: simplicity, reliability, everyday usability and comfortable riding and combining it with a much larger 500cc engine. The result could be one of the most interesting middleweight motorcycles in the segment. Instead of being designed purely as an economical commuter, a Shine 500 would have the potential to become a practical everyday roadster with enough performance for highway touring and weekend rides. The first thing that would make a hypothetical Shine 500 stand out is its design philosophy. Honda would probably need to keep the motorcycle recognizable as a Shine while giving it the physical presence expected from a 500cc machine. That means a larger fuel tank, broader bodywork, stronger chassis proportions and bigger wheels, while still avoiding an unnecessarily aggressive appearance. At the front, the motorcycle could feature a modern LED headlight with a compact housing and a clean horizontal design. Rather than using excessive aerodynamic bodywork, a naked roadster approach would make more sense for the Shine name. A muscular fuel tank could flow naturally toward the headlight, while a small fly screen or compact visor could provide some wind protection without changing the motorcycle's simple character. The handlebar would likely be relatively wide and positioned for an upright riding posture. That would be important because a Shine 500 should not feel like a super sport motorcycle. Its biggest advantage could be its versatility. Riders could use it for commuting during the week, longer highway journeys on weekends, and relaxed rides outside the city. Moving toward the side profile, the larger engine would immediately give the motorcycle more visual authority. A 500cc parallel twin engine, similar in basic displacement to Honda's existing 471cc middleweight platform, would provide a realistic foundation for this concept. Honda's current 500 class motorcycles use a liquid-cooled 471cc Dock parallel twin engine, producing 47 horsepower at 8,500 revolutions per minute and 43 Nm of torque at 6,500 revolutions per minute in the CB500 Hornet and CBR 500R. If Honda ever created a Shine 500 using related technology, those numbers would already provide a very strong starting point. A Shine 500 would not necessarily need to chase maximum horsepower. Instead, Honda could tune the engine for smooth low and mid-range torque, making the motorcycle easy to ride in traffic while still giving it strong highway performance. The engine itself would become one of the most important visual elements. A compact parallel twin with carefully finished cases could sit beneath the fuel tank, with a neatly routed exhaust system leading toward a relatively compact muffler. The overall appearance should communicate strength without becoming overly complicated. The chassis would also need to be considerably stronger than the standard Shine. A 500cc motorcycle produces substantially more performance than a 125cc commuter, so Honda would need appropriate suspension, brakes, tires and frame construction. A steel frame combined with a quality front fork and rear monoshock would be a sensible configuration. At the rear, the Shine 500 could use a simple LED tail lamp integrated into a compact rear section. The seat could remain relatively flat and comfortable, allowing both rider and passenger to enjoy longer trips. Honda could also provide practical grab rails and luggage mounting points, reinforcing the idea that this motorcycle is designed for everyday usability rather than being purely a performance machine. One of the biggest potential selling points would be the riding position. A Shine 500 should ideally place the rider in a neutral posture. The foot pegs would not be extremely rear set, the handlebar would be easy to reach, and the seat height could be kept manageable. That combination would make the motorcycle much less intimidating than some aggressive middleweight machines. For the suspension, a quality telescopic or inverted front fork could be used depending on Honda's positioning and cost target. At the rear, a preload adjustable monoshock would allow riders to adapt the motorcycle to different loads. This would be especially useful for riders who regularly carry a passenger or luggage. Braking would be another major upgrade over the smaller Shine. A 500cc motorcycle would need a strong front disc brake, a rear disc, and a modern dual-channel ABS system. Honda's existing 500cc motorcycles already use substantial braking hardware and ABS, so those technologies would provide an appropriate reference point for a theoretical Shine 500. The wheels would likely be 17-inch units, providing a good balance between handling, stability and tire availability. The tires should be wide enough to provide confidence at highway speeds without becoming unnecessarily expensive or heavy. Now let's talk about the engine, because this is where the hypothetical Shine 500 would become completely different from the familiar Shine. The current Shine is powered by 123.94cc single-cylinder engine producing around 10.78 PS and 11 Nm, with a 5-speed gearbox. A Shine 500 would sit in an entirely different performance category. If Honda adapted its existing 471cc twin-cylinder platform, the motorcycle could potentially deliver approximately 47 horsepower and 43 Nm of torque, assuming similar specifications to the CB500 Hornet. Again, these figures are not confirmed Shine 500 specifications, they are reference figures from Honda's current 500 class motorcycles. In real-world riding, that level of performance would be more than enough for everyday use. Acceleration from low speeds would be smooth and strong, while overtaking on highways would require much less planning than it does on a typical commuter motorcycle.